Okay, here's how to set up and use a multiple choice edit. So you can see it's already defaulted to multiple choice. If it wasn't, I would just click onto whatever the choice was and then choose multiple choice. All you do is write in the question. So we'll say, what is name? And then you type in the choices. So I could say, Paul. So you just start typing. I can hit tab after, and it'll bring me somewhere, who knows. The best thing to do is just hit enter after, and it'll bring you down to the next one. So you can do that. Other things that you can do is if you say, you know what, I don't want Paul involved anymore, I just want to take this one out, I can click the X next to it and it'll go away. You can reorder them by just clicking and dragging them around. You can also add the option for other just by clicking other. And then what people will see is something they can check and then a box next to it. I'll show you that on the filling it out side. So that is the really basic walkthrough of how you set up a multiple choice. What you can also do is in your choices here is go to section based on answer. We'll cover that in another video. And shuffle option order, I'll show that in a second right within this video. And description we've covered already. So this is what it looks like when you build it. We're actually going to come back here to show more information later. I could preview it. Pretty basic, you could see. I can check them off. Since it's multiple choice, this is one if you haven't made sheets like this, you have to remember multiple choice means you can really only pick one. So once I check William, it unchecks Kelly. When I check Frank, it unchecks William. So you can pick one. If you want to be able to pick many, use check boxes. And I could say other, and then you could see it made this required now here for typing in something. You can't just pick other there. You can, if you wanted someone to be able to write other and not give a description, you could type in other as a choice. So that's what it looks like when you fill it out. And now on the back end on this sheet, it looks like this. So you can see what is your name, and it just came up with Kelly. It's nice to use checkboxes, multiple choice like this, as opposed to people typing them in, because one, it's faster for them, and two, on the back end, when we play around with the spreadsheets later, it's nice to know that they put it in exactly that way, right? You know they didn't type K, or if it was Thomas, they didn't just write Tom. So that's how you set it up. This is what it looks like when they fill it out. And this is what it looks like on the spreadsheet. A few other things I want to show you here. Let's go back into where we built it. Click the advanced options part and say shuffle option order. Now, when I go into my sheet when I'm filling it out, it goes William, Kelly, Frank. But look, if I refresh it, Kelly, William, Frank. If I refresh it again, Frank, William, Kelly. So it's just going to shuffle those choices. There could actually be a lot of uses for that. This isn't a great example for it, but there are going to be times you might want to use that. Remember, it won't shuffle the other. It will always put other at the end. The other thing I want to show you with this is, let's delete these out. Take them all out of there. Right, so there's nothing in. What I want to do is add them. So I'm going to start adding these in. Let's get rid of the other. But let's say I have a long list. So this isn't the longest list ever, but let's say I have a list in Excel of 10 names. I don't want to type them all in. Let's say they were full names or longer. If it wasn't names, if it was sentences, you didn't want to type it all in, you could just go into Excel, edit, copy, go back into your sheet, go into the first one, and if you paste it, it's smart enough to know those are individual pieces of information. So it puts them all in just like that. So a very nice time saver. You could also do that from Word. So if I went into Microsoft Word and I had the same list, now here it's a bulleted list. So let's see what happens here if I select a bulleted list and pull it in. See what it did? It pulled that bullet in with it, and we didn't want that. So one thing to remember is if you're going to do this, if you're going to copy it in from Word and it's a bulleted list, turn the bulleted list off first. Turn the bullets off first. So just go into Word, go up here, turn your bullets off, copy it, and paste it, and it'll come in just the way you want. So again, that's a huge time saver instead of writing them all in. And now you can see, let's keep this shuffle option order on. Now when I go into this sheet and refresh, now the shuffling is really going to show. Right? It's totally different orders every time I refresh it. So every time I use this data sheet, it would be in a new order. So that is multiple choice. Again, there was one more option here. We'll cover that in another video, and that is go to section based on answer.